This is exactly the kind of salad you can say has eggs in it. You can simply use very cold water, that will work too. Literally 50 milliliters of regular 9% vinegar. And in the center, carefully and quickly pour in the egg. I happen to have some shallot lying around, so I'll use that. And our task is to find the firmest leaves possible. We take small, careful pieces and place them all around the perimeter. The onion is sweet and the shallot isn't too strong, so you can even add a bit more of it. And really, as soon as this salad hit my mouth, I felt like I was somewhere on the seashore, the breeze gently hitting my face, and I'm just enjoying it. Friends, while it's cold outside, I think everyone would want a colorful, awesome salad like this, especially with canned tuna. So before we start, hit the like button, check your subscriptions so you don't miss new videos, and let's go. First, pour water into a pot and blanch the green beans. Once the water is boiling, put the beans in for just about 2 minutes. Why do we need to do this? I want the beans to be defrosted first of all, and secondly, I want them to have a rich, bright color. That's why we need to blanch them, which means briefly heating them in water, in this case. And then we put everything in ice to cool it down as quickly as possible and to stop the beans from cooking any further. Turn off the heat and transfer them to the ice. If you don't have ice, you can just use very cold water. That will work too. We're done with the beans. Let them sit in the ice. I rinsed the pot. I'll use it to make a poached egg. Actually, you can just boil the egg, even hard boil it. But I want the yolk to be runny, very liquid. The water has boiled, so we turn it down to the lowest heat so we don't see any boiling bubbles. Add about 50 milliliters of regular 9% vinegar. We need this so the egg white sets as quickly as possible. I've already cracked the egg into a small sauce dish. Notice, the yolk is whole. With a gentle motion, make a small whirlpool and quickly pour the egg into the center. That's it. Set the timer for 4 minutes, and in 4 minutes we'll have a perfect poached egg. I'll make 2 of them this way. Next, let's prepare the sauce. I take a mortar, but you can use a regular blender, a food processor, whatever you like. I'll cut a clove of garlic in the air so it grinds better, then I'll add a bit of salt. The salt will act like a millstone, crushing the garlic and turning it into a paste. Next, add a couple of heaping teaspoons of capers to the mortar and grind them together with the garlic. Then add about 1.5 to 2 spoonfuls of regular mustard, some freshly ground pepper, olive oil, a bit of wine vinegar, and mix it all together. The next ingredient we'll add to the already prepared sauce is parsley. I'll finely chop the parsley and add it to the sauce, but I won't grind it. I'll leave it in this chopped form. Next is red onion. I happen to have some shallots. I'll use it. We need to slice it into very thin rings, and I'll use a specialized grater for that. Maybe having such a device at home is a bit much, like there's nowhere to put it and so on, but the beautiful, neat, thin rings you get are just a sight to behold. Next is baked potatoes. I bought small potatoes, so-called, and I baked them in the oven. That way they didn't fall apart and all the starch didn't go into the water. I just take them and cut them in half, and if they're bigger, I cut them into 4 pieces, put them back in the foil and season them with a little olive oil, some salt and a bit of freshly ground black pepper. We also set them aside. Next, cherry tomatoes. I remove the stems and just cut them in half. The tomatoes are ready, so we put everything back on the plate. And our final ingredient is lettuce. Iceberg. I'm going to use iceberg lettuce. Who uses romaine? Why am I using iceberg? Because it's more accessible. In my opinion, it's much easier and quicker to find than any other. We cut off the stem and our goal is to find the firmest leaves. So we'll use this part for another salad, and we'll take these firm good ones for today's salad. Carefully separate them and start assembling. We begin to lay out the salad, and remember that we won't be mixing it. We'll lay it out in layers. That's why the dressing must definitely be at the bottom as well. Next, the salad. Salad leaves. Put the leaves at the bottom and the larger leaves along the sides. Next is the potatoes. We lay out the potatoes in a slow, unhurried way like this. You shouldn't cover it with too many potatoes either, so you don't overpower the taste. Next, add a few tomatoes. Just like this. Next, we have tuna. Take it in small pieces and place it all around the dish. Canned tuna can also be tasty, believe me. Next, add the sauce again, so that everyone can take some with their portion, including the sauce. Next, poached eggs. Poached egg 1, poached egg 2. And the finishing touch is onion rings. This is how we make them. The onion is sweet, shallot, not too strong, so you can even add a bit more. I think what you've got here should be spectacular. Come on, let's go try it. Well guys, first of all, we decided to clear the table so that only this dish would remain. And while we were running around and jumping, we realized that we hadn't added the beans, which we had blanched and cooled and all that, so we carefully added them off screen. Well, let's bet, Egg. Let's see what kind of yolk we have there. Everything's great. What do we do next? I want to try this masterpiece. I won't be afraid, so to speak, altogether. A bit of salad, then I add some tuna and sauce here, and in goes the beans, a tomato, and the yolk. Friends, I tried the salad, and honestly, the colors not only please us visually, but the taste is really diverse too. It's a very versatile salad with vegetables, beans, and this complex sauce. In short, I highly recommend trying to make it and surprising your family and loved ones. Once again, I skewered it like on a spit, not a single drop missed. And honestly, as soon as this salad got into my mouth, I felt like I was somewhere on the seashore, the breeze gently hitting my face, and I'm just enjoying it. Well, my friends, it's time to say goodbye. Cook at home, don't be afraid to experiment, and stay healthy. Subtitles created by